Hello and welcome everyone to Through the Ranks with Ty. I'm Ty. Nice to meet ya. I'm here with the man, the king, the living legend, the man himself, Trundle, the Troll King. Now, I've been a big Trundle fan for a while. I've never actually played Trundle before his rework that much, but now that he's been reworked, he's actually got a good story, he's actually a cool character, and all of his animations are really good. I'm just gonna play Trundle 24/7. That might make me a terrible person, and Trundle, diehards from beforehand might hate me for it, but I don't really care. Because Trundle is really good right now, and I personally believe he might be a little overtuned. But it also doesn't help that people seriously underestimate Trundle right now. They're like, oh yeah, Trundle, he doesn't do anything. As I chunk off Mundo's health with an auto attack and a Q. Trundle's Q is Chomp, I think. It's an auto attack reset. So it has this brilliant ability where you can auto attack somebody, chomp, and then auto attack again, all in the span of no time whatsoever. And Trundle, who has massive amounts of attack damage, 2 auto attacks and a chomp hurts. On top of the fact that Chomp has a little known secret where it takes your attack damage, the person he chomped, and adds it to his own. It's like, it takes 20 attack damage from you, and it gives him 10. Something along those lines. Which is massive. Massive at this level. I'm just auto-attacking and Qing Mundo, and ruining his health. Trundle doesn't have any other damage until level 6. It's auto-attack Q, auto-attack Q, auto-attack Q. And that's enough to just beat Mundo out of the lane. And it also doesn't help that I rushed a Vampiric Scepter and Trundle's passive, King's Tribute. Every time an enemy dies, whether it's a jungle minion, a minion, or an enemy champion, or Baron, or Dragon, I heal off that. It's a solid 5% of that creature's maximum health. It's 5% is probably a bit much. It's more like 2%, but you know. Oh, that's heartbreaking. But I'm just going to heal it all up because I'm Trundle. I can't be moved from the lane, and I'm going to kick you out of the lane because top lane is now Troll Town, which is Trundle's W, where he makes the big circle on the ground. That increases his movement speed, increases his attack speed, and increases how much he's healing. It's insane. That's so much stats for one spell. And that plus his Q, plus his ultimate, which you were about to see. His ultimate is that he just saps from the enemy. See myself getting bigger? I'm taking 20% of Mundo's health. 10% at first, 10% over time, and then 40% of his armor and magic resistance. How is he supposed to fight me? I have free attack damage, free attack speed, and free armor and magic resist while I'm also constantly healing. This, in my opinion, is what makes Trundle one of the kings of 1v1 me noobs. You know what 1v1 me noobs are. It's when people play like Trundle and Xin Xiao, and they go like 10-0 in the first 10 minutes, and then they get into team fights, and they have no idea what to do. They're really bad at team fighting, but they're really good at getting solo kills. So now their team is losing, and they're not doing anything to help the team. And they're just like, hey you, strongest member on the enemy team, 1v1 me noob. Because they know they're not going to win in a team fight. So they have to pick somebody off, and they use taunts to get them, 1v1 me at Dragon noob. And then you just bring your whole team, and you stomp them, and it's pretty funny. But these people have a place. These characters have a place. Xin Xiao, Trundle, Trundle, these amazing duelists. And that's in top lane. Trundle is just... oh, what's the word for it? It's deceitful. How much damage and how strong he really is. Because he takes yours, and he buffs his. He's getting free attack damage, free attack speed, free movement speed, free armor and magic resist, free health. All of this while kicking the living shit out of you. And then once you realize your mistake, that you cannot take on Trundle 1v1, you can't take on Trundle 1v1. This was true before his rework. If you remember me saying back long ago on one of the HTM casts, if you watch those, that I would defend to the death that Trundle was viable before this rework. He didn't need this rework to be a good character. It is more than true now. Trundle is one of the kings of dueling. Look at that. I only have a Ravenous Hydra. That's it. Ravenous Hydra and boots. And I've pushed up to this guy's inhibitor turret. And I'm killing him. He can't fight me 1v1 because I have too much free stats. It's positively ridiculous. I just out-sustained a Mundo in lane. But, you know, now that Draven, Taric, and Nocturne are all their way, I get scared and I leave. So, you can't 1v1 Trundle. You may think you can, but then you realize that you can't, and now you're ice blocked in, which is his E skill, the Pillar of Ice, that he can place anywhere, and it slows you and blocks your path. It is a brilliant spell. People underestimate Trundle because 2 of his spells don't do damage. Troll Town makes me invincible while I'm on that circle. And Pillar of Ice locks you into Troll Town. What are you going to do? I'm going to kill you. That's what you're going to do. So you run into this beautiful situation where you're split pushing. No one can fight you. Look at this. I'm taking on 3 of them. It gets to be a bit much for me, and I don't want to die, so I start backing off. But I was taking on all 3 of them, and they were running scared. Now I'm running scared. And does she do it? No, she does not. Nidalee spears are so weird. I should have died there. I deserved to die there. I was taking on 3 of them in their base. I deserved to die. But Trundle OP. So you run into this beautiful situation where you're split pushing. If the whole team tries to come and stop you, your team is pushing on the other end of the map and is going to take the inhibitor there. If they send only one person to stop you, you're going to kill them. It does not matter who it is. If it is one person, you're going to kill them. Now, the drawback to this plan is when my team isn't split pushing and I am, so the enemy team is free to send 4 people to come stop me, and it doesn't cost them anything. Yeah. That kind of sucked. But I'm pushed into this guy's inhibitor. And I just kicked him out of the lane, and he can't fight me. I will win any and all 1v1 engagements with nothing but a Ravenous Hydra. But now I'm building purely tanky, and it's becoming more and more insane to try and fight me. Now, Trundle Q works on towers and inhibitors, as does his W. This makes Trundle one of the kings of split pushing. The fact that he's a king of 1v1 me noob also makes him a king of split pushing, because I'm just taking the inhibitor. Mundo's not doing the damage to actually stop me. I have the attack speed from my Troll Town, and I have my Chomp. Auto attack, Chomp, auto attack, Chomp, auto attack, Chomp. It resets the auto attack timer. If you're at any and all points, you should try to auto attack before you Chomp. Auto attack, Chomp, auto attack. Do this with any character with an auto attack reset, like Talon. Talon's Q, Nocturne Diplomacy. Auto attack, stab, auto attack. Squeezing in those extra auto attacks does so much for you. You saw how I was kicking Mundo out of the lane. And now for this beautiful team fight. One of the biggest buffs to Trundle is the fact that his Q now slows. I got exhausted, knocked away. I'm still right on top of Draven. Kill Draven, and I'm like, you guys can handle this tower. I'm just going to go split push the other tower. And personally, I believe this is the job of the top laner to split push. But it depends on what top laner you have. If you're Trundle, you're Rengar, or you're Nidalee, or you're Yi, then you should be split pushing the crap out of your opponent because you push towers so hard and so quickly. And they're taking the middle inhibitor with no trouble, while I'm taking bot lane. Look at this damage I'm doing to this tower alone. Well, I have a bunch of minions with me, but you get the point. But now we're in a bit of a bad position. So I go diving after them, and Nocturne goes diving after Twisted Fate, which distracts Leona and Tristana. So that leaves me and Elise underneath the enemy turret alone while everybody else goes running off after Nocturne. That sucked a bit, but you know, we're still winning, so we're allowed a little throw, and that really wasn't much of a throw because we came out even anyway, and all the other lanes were pushing because of the minions. So I personally believe Trundle is a bit overtuned. He was good beforehand, and now he's great. And I might not even be abusing him to the maximum strength. Ravenous Hydra is really good right now. If you're questioning my choice in item builds, Ravenous Hydra is fantastic. A lot of people don't seem to realize it because Tiamat was always terrible, but Ravenous Hydra is fantastic. The build, it's really annoying to build because you have to build Tiamat, and that involves a pickaxe, but oh well. Ravenous Hydra on anyone in melee, this includes like Lee Sin and Talon, anyone in melee who auto-attacks a lot, it gets so much work done. Because you can split push like a boss, or you can walk into the middle of the enemy team, and you're just doing so much damage and healing off all of that. It makes being a melee carry so much easier. I totally recommend it on like Fiora and Tryndamere, and especially Trundle. Anyone who relies on auto attacks this much as he does, because he's also got the attack speed boost. So you're not only hitting really hard and life stealing off that, you're also attacking like a crazy man. And then I build Reynaud's Omen because I was afraid of Draven. Draven was getting really fed in bot lane to the point that the Tristana almost rage quit. Actually, he did rage quit. He was sitting in base, just spamming pings to be annoying and trying to surrender. But we were like, dude, we're winning. Shut up. So I built Reynaud's Omen because I was scared of Draven. Normally, I would probably build like a Sunfire Cape or something, but I do like Reynaud's Omen a lot. And then, of course, Spirit Visage, because, lol, Spirit Visage. It's cooldown reduction, which does wonders on Trundle. Cooldown reduction on Trundle is fantastic. If you ever get a Frozen Heart. Now, it would be Sunfire Cape, Reynaud's Omen, or Frozen Heart for an armor item. And then I would go Spirit Visage, because health and cooldown reduction does so much on Trundle. On top of the fact that it's magic resist. You always get like one armor item and one magic resist item. That usually does the trick, and then you can just build health. So this is what a build I do on a lot of fighters like Vi and Darius. I get one big damage item, and then I build purely tank. And I was going to be there, but Tristana and Leona decided to engage on a Taric. You should really never engage on a tank, no matter who it is. It just takes so much to kill the tank that you use all your stuff, and then by the time that the tank's actually dead, you've run into the middle of the enemy team. Like, if you catch a Leona out in the middle of the forest, don't dump all your stuff on her. She's baiting you. After this, I was thinking Blade of the Ruined King and Last Whisper. I think that would have done the most for this game since I was carrying. But this game's pretty much over. So this is personally what I believe the best way to play Trundle is. I don't like Trundle in the jungle. I like Trundle solo top because you dominate the lane and you can build off your dominance in the lane to carry the game. You do so much damage and you can take so much punishment, and you're constantly healing. You're draining health from killing your opponents or your ultimate. And that's why I believe Trundle is really strong right now. Thank you very much. This has been Through the Ranks with Ty, and I will be happily uploading more once LOL Recorder starts working.